everyone, Linda here, the scrapbooking photographer. Welcome to my channel and thanks for stopping by. Today we are taking part again in the Clue series, which is a fun hop for August running out of Ginger's Corner. So to pick our criteria for the page, we use this dice to follow some hints and clues about suspects, weapons and crime locations. So let's find first our suspect, which is number 3, Mrs. White. And her murder weapon of choice is a revolver. And finally, where is she using her revolver? In the ballroom. Okay, going over to the next page. Mrs. White is down here, so we've got 5, which is white clouds. And revolver is, up the top. Okay, we've got number 6, a heritage page. Heritage page with white clouds. Interesting. Heritage page. And ballroom, which is also at the top. We've got number 1, use brown paper. Right, well that's going to be an interesting combination. We've got white clouds on a heritage page with some brown paper. Oh, okay, so I will go and find the bits for that and I will be back shortly. See you soon. So I've been away and had a little look through my bits and pieces and have come up with something to do for a heritage page using brownish paper and some white clouds. And the thing I've come across is this old leaflet from the Air Training Course, and in here is a photo of everybody from the year, goodness, I don't know what year, but it would have been in the 40s, I guess, late 40s maybe. And there is my dad. Can you see that? Yeah, just to the left of the staple in the middle. So I'm going to have to put an arrow or a circle or something around him just so that we know who he is, but it would be really good to have that in the book. 1950, there we are. It's the RAF pamphlet number 68, November 1950. So what I thought I would do is use some of the Adventurous Skies pack from Stampin' Up. And these are leftovers. Unfortunately, the pack isn't available anymore, but the sky paper, which had some white clouds, goes quite nicely with this paper. Now, my dad was a technical draftsman, so I quite like the look of the grid and the drawing of planes on here. And on the other side of this is the brown paper. And I thought we'd do sort of a really happy horizontal because we're going to do it in thirds. So the first thing we're going to do is use the black as a backstop. And we want this to go at the top. I thought about tearing it, but I don't want to tear it because the grid lines and everything on here in the technical drawing aspect kind of says exactness to me. So we're going to try and keep it exact. And I'm going to take some space on the side so that we get a black frame all the way around. So this needs to be 1/2 inch shorter to give us 1/4 inch all the way around. So 1/2 inch there. 12. If it was 12 inches, we'd have 4 inches of each one. So we're just going to bring it down a little bit and put it there. And we'll cut the 4 inches of this one before we take the 1/2 inch off, and that way we can still use it as 12 inch wide, the rest of it. And we'll take the 1/2 inch off. And that'll be the middle one. And then the bottom one, I'm going to turn this over and do the same with that. So I quite like the way it kind of goes from the clouds at the top through to the brown base. And take the 1/2 inch off that. pretty awesome when you find things like this. I do have an album about my dad, but it's not finished yet, but this will definitely go in it. So then we've got that kind of overlapping happening like that. Okay, we'll stick that down. So then I'm bringing this in about here, and I want to put it on a bit of an angle, but I do think it needs to be outlined, and I think a little bit of black underneath might look quite nice to go with the outside frame. And then I think a little bit of blue would go quite nice. This is actually Night of Navy, and if I bring that in there, then it just brings the blue in from behind as well. So as you can see, we don't get a lot of the background showing through. So what we're going to do is, before we stick that down anywhere, we're going to take a little bit of the middle bit out and use it as a tag down the bottom. And then when we bring this in, angle it like that, so we can stick that all down now. Blue, I think, was also the colour of the Air Training Corps, so it's kind of appropriate as well. And this is my 5th layout for Clue. So it had me thinking, this one, a heritage page with white clouds and brown paper, but we got there in the end. Right, and then we can stick that down. You can see this is two-tone Night of Navy, but I've chosen to use the darker one just because I think it goes better with the darker lines of the planes and with the black that's going around the outside. So we'll just pop that in there. And then we can make this into a little bit of a tag. I don't think we need the blue, the clouds rather, and possibly not the brown because we've got that down here. So we will chop those off. We might get 2 tags. How wide is it? It's 4 inches wide, so if we cut it at 2 inches, and then cut through like that, whoops, and put that on the other side. Okay, so we'll end up with 2 tags. We might put them both together like that. We'll put a hole in the top of one. And we'll put a hole in the middle of that one as well. Take reusing bits, you see, so you don't have to throw them out. Put the clouds across the bottom and trim those ones off. They'll fit across the bottom of this one. And then we'll put one the same size in between them just to highlight that blue colour. I'm just using the tags we've already made as a template. And then putting a hole in it, the top like we did with the others. I have some old DMC cotton from my embroidery pack. I don't even know what colour this is because, oh yeah, there we go. DMC 799. Seems to work quite well, so we'll just cut a chunk of that off. And a little bit like we did with the Nelson sunset the other day, we're going to fold it over to make it seem bigger than it actually is. then thread it through. Not tying a bow this time, we're just going to first of all stick these down because I want them in that position, and then we'll trim that off, and we can just separate this a little bit just to give that frayed look. Stick that down. And in my little pack of adventurous sky things, I actually already have some things cut out from a previous time. And so we have a plane which is coming in from that way. So I actually do want it on that side of the page. So I'm going to put that on top there. And I also have, actually, that one might look quite cool as well. So I'll put them both there. And I've got some clouds too. Don't show up very well against, that's better. Okay, so I'll just raise those a little bit with some dimensions, and that'll help them stand out against the pilots. And because one of our criteria was to have white clouds, we'll keep them white. Okay, and we'll stick these down as well. Now I want to put a little bit of writing down here, so I'm going to thinly cut some of these just to blend in with the same colour, and then I'll use my silver pen to write on them, or my white pen rather. We need that little circle too for highlighting my dad. So we've made a circle with two different circle sizes, and we can just pop that around him like that, because in generations to come they won't know which one he is. So I think sacrificing the ones either side so that we don't see them is okay. There we go. Right, I'll just do my journaling here, and then we'll do a little bit of a title. So I've been through my stash of letters that I've cut out, and I don't have any A's left, so I need to get the rest of the alphabet. Now, rather than cutting a whole alphabet out, I only want the A. So I'm going to put another piece of this cardstock in, but I don't want to use the two-tone because these are solid ones, and it means that when you use the solid card, you don't get the white core showing around the outside. But it is Night of Navy, so it blends in quite well. But I will get a piece of solid scrap and cut out one little A. Right, there we go, we've got our little A. So we can pop this away again. And stick those down. I hope you're getting a chance to look through all the Clue videos. There is a link down below to the playlist so that you can see all of the ones, because the best thing about this series is that no two layouts get the same prompts. So going back to what we had as prompts for this page, we've got white clouds for Mrs. White, which we've used up the top there, and they're in the paper as well. It is a heritage page from 1950, and we've used brown paper down the bottom to highlight those bits on there. So I haven't got any other gems that I'm going to put to this one. I'm just leaving it plain so that the catalogue speaks for itself, or the pamphlet as they were called. And we've highlighted my dad in the middle, so future generations will know that he was part of the A.T.C and that that's what he looked like in his uniform. Thanks very much for watching, everybody, and happy crafting!